How 5 ancient civilizations built everything you use daily. The real reason your phone exists. 5 ancient secrets. Your alarm pings. You scroll your phone, sip coffee, then hit the road. Feels modern, right? But here's the catch. Every single step of that routine, it's powered by code written thousands of years ago. 5 ancient civilizations, long gone from the headlines, quietly programmed your entire world. From the writing system on your screen to the roads you drive, the calendar you follow, even the numbers you count with. They're the invisible operating system running everything. Today, we're breaking down how Mesopotamia, Egypt, China, Greece, and Rome still control your daily life, without you even realizing it. Let's dive in. All right, let's rewind. 3500 BCE, the land between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. The Sumerians took one look at human memory and said, nope, not good enough. Their solution? A sharp reed pressed into wet clay. Cuneiform, the world's first writing system. The ancestor of every text, every contract, every message you've ever sent. That grocery list sitting in your notes app? Just a digital clay tablet. But they didn't stop there. Moving heavy things was a nightmare. So they invented the wheel, first for pottery, then for transportation. Every suitcase rolling through an airport, every semi-truck on the highway, every car in your driveway, still running on that 5,000-year-old patch. They also revolutionized farming. Rivers were powerful but unpredictable, so they built irrigation canals, an ancient plumbing system that turned barren deserts into fertile farmland. Your morning coffee exists because someone 5 millennia ago figured out how to water crops on a schedule. And when disputes over land and property got messy, enter Hammurabi. Around 1750 BCE, he carved his code into stone. The world's first publicly displayed legal system. Contracts, property rights, even the concept of innocent until proven guilty. That principle, still running in every courtroom on earth. Oh, and for all the math lovers out there, thank the Mesopotamians for obsessing over the number 60. That's why we have 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, and 360 degrees in a circle. Every countdown timer, every clock on your wall, every GPS calculating your route. Pure Mesopotamian source code. Now slide down the Nile. Egypt picks up where Mesopotamia left off. Where others saw destructive floods, Egyptians saw opportunity. They built shadufs, simple but genius counterweight buckets that lifted water into their fields. That's the grandfather of modern drip irrigation. But timing those floods required precision. So they looked to the stars. They tracked Sirius rising on the horizon and created the 365-day calendar. Your New Year's Eve countdown? A direct callback to an Egyptian astronomer squinting at the night sky 3,000 years ago. Clay tablets were heavy and impractical, so Egyptians invented papyrus, the world's first portable paper. Suddenly, keeping records, writing stories, tracking inventory became easy. Swap that papyrus for fiber optic cables? You've got the internet. Geometry wasn't just academic for them. It was survival. Every flood washed away property boundaries, so they had to remeasure using ropes, stakes, and angles. That necessity became the foundation for modern surveying, architecture, and yes, even your GPS navigation. Medicine? The Egyptians were shockingly advanced. Prosthetic toes, dental bridges, honey as an antiseptic, surgical instruments and procedures documented in detail. Walk into an emergency room today, you're stepping into a descendant of their temple medical centers. Even their ox-drawn plow was revolutionary. The ancestor of every tractor, every piece of farming equipment still used worldwide. Egypt wasn't just building pyramids. They were engineering systems that made civilization scalable and sustainable. But while the West was making noise, the East was quietly inventing the future. Ancient China wasn't just keeping pace. They were often centuries ahead. Paper? Not papyrus. Actual paper. Invented around 100 CE using mulberry bark, hemp, and water. Every book on your shelf. Every document you've ever printed. Every dollar bill in your wallet. All descendants of Chinese papermaking. Printing? They invented woodblock printing in the 7th century. Movable type came shortly after. Gutenberg gets all the European credit, but China was mass-producing books and documents a full 1,000 years earlier. So that morning newspaper, that novel you're reading, Chinese innovation made it possible. Gunpowder. They stumbled onto it while searching for an elixir of immortality. Ironic, considering what it became. It changed warfare forever. But it also gave us fireworks, mining explosives, and eventually rocket propulsion. Every 4th of July celebration, every space launch, started as Chinese alchemy experiments. The compass? Chinese invention. 11th century. Sailors used magnetized needles to navigate open waters. Without it, global exploration and trade, as we know it, simply doesn't exist. That Amazon package that crossed an ocean to reach you? Thank a Chinese magnetic compass from 1,000 years ago. And bureaucracy? China perfected the civil service examination system. The radical idea that government positions should go to the most qualified candidates, not just the richest or most connected. Modern democracies copy that framework wholesale. Silk production, acupuncture, the seismograph for detecting earthquakes, gunpowder, paper money. China was running a full industrial tech stack, while much of the world was still figuring out basic agriculture. By 500 BC, the Greeks walked in with a different kind of upgrade, not just tools or materials, but entirely new ways of thinking. First, democracy. Athens gave citizens a voice in government. Now, it wasn't perfect. Women, slaves, and foreigners were excluded, but the foundational idea that people should have a say in how they're governed, that was revolutionary. Every election you vote in, every protest march, every town hall meeting, it all traces back to ancient Athens. Then came philosophy. Socrates asked uncomfortable questions that made people think. Plato designed blueprints for ideal governments. Aristotle cataloged and classified everything from marine biology to ethical frameworks. Their obsession with asking why became the backbone of modern science, law, medicine, and education. Math and engineering? Euclid's Elements became the geometry textbook. For 2,000 years, Archimedes figured out buoyancy and leverage. Why ships float. Why submarines dive. Why simple machines multiply force. He's the reason cruise ships don't sink and construction cranes can lift tons. Culture and storytelling? The Greeks invented structured drama. Tragedy. Comedy. The 3-act structure. Character arcs and plot twists. Every Netflix series you binge. Every Marvel movie. Every play on Broadway. Just Greek theater with better special effects. And then there's the Antikythera mechanism, discovered in a shipwreck off the Greek coast. Over 30 bronze gears. The world's first analog computer. It predicted eclipses, tracked planetary movements, even calculated Olympic game schedules. 2,000 years ago, the Greeks built a laptop. No USB port. No charge required. Finally, Alexander the Great spread Greek culture, philosophy, and knowledge from Egypt to India, an ancient form of globalization. Greek ideas became the common intellectual framework across 3 continents. And then Rome walked in and asked the most Roman question possible. Okay, but can we scale this? Rome didn't invent most things. They borrowed from everyone. Greek philosophy, Egyptian engineering, Mesopotamian law, Chinese trade goods. But Rome's genius was industrializing it all, making it work for an empire of 50 million people spread across 3 continents. Roads. Over 50,000 miles of paved highways connecting every corner of the empire. Standardized width. Drainage systems. Milestones every 1,000 paces. Every interstate. Every freeway. Every modern logistics network. Just Roman roads with asphalt instead of stones. Aqueducts. They move millions of gallons of fresh water across mountains and valleys using nothing but gravity and brilliant engineering. Modern urban water systems. Your morning shower. Your flushing toilet. All built on Roman principles. Concrete. They invented it. And their recipe was so good we're still trying to reverse engineer it. The Pantheon's dome, poured in 126 CE, remains the largest unreinforced concrete dome in the world. Nearly 2,000 years old, and we still can't match it. Legal systems? Roman law became the template for most Western legal frameworks. Concepts like legal representation, the right to appeal, binding contracts, property ownership, presumption of innocence. You sign a lease? That's Roman contract law. You go to court? You're using Roman legal procedures. The calendar? Julius Caesar standardized it. 12 months. Leap years to keep the seasons aligned. We made minor tweaks, but you're still planning your year on a Roman schedule. Even language. Over 60% of English vocabulary comes from Latin roots. Every time you say science, justice, education, federal, or democracy, you're speaking Rome's linguistic DNA. Rome didn't reinvent the wheel. They paved roads for it, built the infrastructure, scaled the systems. They were the ultimate integrators. So here's your update log. Mesopotamia gave us writing, the wheel, law, and timekeeping. Egypt engineered calendars, irrigation, medicine, and papyrus. China invented paper, printing, gunpowder, and the compass. Greece built democracy, philosophy, and the scientific method. Rome scaled it all with roads, aqueducts, concrete, and universal law. Your smartphone, your daily commute, your hospital visit, your voting booth, the books you read, the roads you drive, even the way you structure your thoughts and ask questions. All of it is beta software. First prototypes coded and debugged thousands of years ago. Next time your alarm rings and you reach for your phone, remember, you're not just waking up to another Monday morning. You're waking up with the ghosts of 5 ancient civilizations running silently in the background, powering everything. If this rewired how you see your daily routine, smash that like button. Drop a comment telling me which civilization surprised you most. And subscribe for more history that refuses to stay buried in the past. Thanks for watching.